Michelle Amor is a science diver and a rescue diver, a scientist and a musician. She marries these interests and her varied skill set by engaging in musical composition, acoustics, evolutionary biology, and holistic medicine. I first met Michelle in June 2018. She came to visit campus from Texas to hear about the program. And as far as I know, she never left. She came, she watched the symposium, and she stuck around. She taught violin lessons, she got a job at a dive shop, and she was committed to immersing herself completely in this program since the moment she arrived. This project that she's done is outside the box. It is in the true spirit of the interdisciplinary nature of this program. It is relevant, timely, poignant, and captivating, and I'm excited for her to share it with you today. The title of her presentation is Ecologies of Sound and Sea, an auditory journey through acoustic ecology.
Sound is full of stories. From interviews of leading researchers to composers to sounds recorded in the field, Ecologies of Sound and Sea is a submersive science communication project about sound, listening, stewardship, and ecology. It is a piece of 25 minutes of 150 tracks, all tailored together into one. I will play some sections for you today. This project is veered towards creating social and communal change, as well as using acoustic ecology as a tool for looking at human impact, climate change, and the overall health and balance of our planet. It is meant for acoustic researchers to find funding, encourage education through podcasts, as well as support teachers to use auditory programs such as this one in their classrooms. This sonic journey takes the listener from the chaotic city to rivers, farms, swamps, marshlands, down into the ocean, and finally back up to the surface. I chose to begin on land because terrestrial sounds are intuitive to us. I then transport the listener towards the mysterious sonic networks in the ocean. Let's take a moment to listen to some of the stories around us. We begin in the city, turning on our radio.
This is an emergency broadcast.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Sea levels are rising more rapidly than previously thought.
Unequivocal evidence of climate change, and that the record high temperatures in Siberia would be impossible without man-made global warming.
Wildfires are scorching the West Coast, leaving behind a path of death and destruction. In California, the August complex fire has become the largest fire in state history.
Recently, over 200 whales washed up on a beach in New Zealand. They face injury and death from dehydration. Unfortunately, almost 20 died, and the rescuers have to wait until high tide to try again to rescue the rest.
People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction. And all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Look after the natural world. It's the most precious thing we have, and we are a part of it.
Clean air, clean water, open spaces. These should once again be the birthright of every American.
Every sound you hear is a part of something great, something complex, something deeply interconnected, not just around us, but within us. Each and every entity has a unique voice, and combined, they form acoustic ecology. What did you feel? I invite you to analyze your feelings in relation to the sounds you hear. Sound is teeming with information about our environment, just waiting to be heard. It is full of wonder, knowledge, connection, or disconnection, and we are a part of that. Sound is expansive and inherent to us. What were some of the first sounds you heard in your life as a child?
I took my son, who was 2 years old at that time, walked through the garden, and he just paused. He heard these sounds of wind flowing through the pine tree, and I took picture of it because he really looked so intrigued by what he was listening. I guess that was kind of unusual. He didn't hear such sound growing up in San Diego. Sound is like, there's something very primal about it. You just kind of pay attention. This is how we process the world and discover, the world and who we are.
Acoustic ecology is the practice of listening. It is a way of understanding the sonic networks that we are a part of. Each environment has a unique signature that describes the state of being of that place. Even on land, there are sounds that we might not even recognize. This mystery becomes even more amplified in the ocean. We have reached the beach, the sounds of children's laughter, marine birds, and footsteps. A scuba diver has jumped into the water. We began to descend down into the sea, a place full of teeming life and secrets, a place where sound is even more expansive than on land, a place where sound is everything to so many marine creatures.
So much further.
I work on the ocean, and the ocean is a world of sound. Marine mammals, fish, invertebrates. Have evolved over millions of years to take advantage of the particular acoustic quality of life in the sea. Sound just travels really, really far in water, much farther than it does in air. The remarkable properties of the ocean for sound propagation, for sound travel, can hear another blue whale call from hundreds, even thousands of miles away.
The sounds that humans create in the ocean can also travel far. Perhaps we should reflect more on the sounds that we make in our sonic network.
From the humming speedboats zipping through the bay, to the droning ferries traveling at every hour of the day, to resonating shipping vessels transporting goods across the ocean, to offshore exploration, reverberation, and locomotion, to military maneuvers, underwater explosions, searching for enemy submarines, to even some science exploration and the sounds of many engines and machines.
This project was exhibited yesterday on the podcast Speak Up for the Blue, so to listen to the full program and see all the research involved, visit my website. I would like to thank God, those involved in the MAS-MBC program, my committee and advisors Garth Payne, Carrie Seeger, Dick Norris, Angela Sumplis, my family and loving fiance Joshua. This project is meant to create cultural change through acoustic studies, as it is a tool for looking at human impact and the overall health and balance of our ecology. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Hi, Michelle. Why did you choose to do a science communication sound project?
I think, like I mentioned, sound is so inherent to us, and I know that podcasts are becoming really popular, and it's a good way for people to find specific genres and just, while you're in your car or, doing something, you can just, play it. And I thought it was just a very powerful way of reaching a very broad audience.
And Michelle, we've got another question here. What is one of the coolest things you learned while doing this project? I know you traveled all around the country to capture these audio files.
I think one of the really interesting things I learned was a term called acoustic enrichment, and it's a methodology that scientists are using, and what they're doing is they're actually broadcasting healthy sounds of reefs and depleted reefs, and it's actually bringing in a wide variety of creatures back into these areas. That's not to say that that's we shouldn't be having to broadcast sounds of healthy reefs to begin with, but I think it's a very cool way of managing these areas. And it shows you the power of sound, how it can completely change a space, an environment.
Who regulates sound pollution, and what's the future landscape look like in terms of policy?
That's a good question. I'm not a policy expert, but I did speak to Michael Jasny, and he is a marine acoustic policy expert, and I know there's a lot of, from what I understand is that marine acoustic policy is lagged, and that it just takes a really long time to get going, so you have to just constantly push it. As of right now, I know there's a lot of, I did a lot of research in Seattle, and there's a lot of acoustic policies being done there, with a lot of like the orca population and the boats in the area. So I know it's up and coming, it's just taking a long time. I think people are becoming more aware about it.